We're Cazzy and Bradley, and we're currently driving our camper van around the world. In this video, we're in Canada, and we attempt to drive the famous Dempster Highway. Unfortunately, not everything goes to plan, and it results in a very expensive situation.
1,000 Canadian dollars.
Keep watching to find out.
Welcome back to another episode of Dream Big Travel Far with your hosts Bradley and Cazzy. Today we are at the Dempster Highway, a really easy, lovely tarmac road that glides gently through a pristine landscape towards the Arctic Ocean, with lots of hotels and petrol stations along the way, and absolutely no chance of breaking down or getting a burst tire.
This is mile 0, and we're about to start.
For those of you that don't know, this is Helen, our wonderful drive for the journey. She is a 2.2 litre diesel, front wheel drive Peugeot Boxer all the way from the UK. So they do recommend 4x4, but a lot of people said 2-wheel drive is fine. So we're gonna give it a go anyway. We're gonna find out how she gets on. I do recommend, so we just came from Whitehorse today, which was about 6 hours ago. I recommend halfway along, there is a really nice car wash. It's really cheap to use. You stop off, get her nice and clean, and then by the time you get to here, she'll be absolutely dirty again. So yeah, definitely waste your money on that one.
One of the things they tell you to do is fuel up whenever you can and move in an extra tire.
Yeah. And also have a really messy van where all the clothes have already fallen out.
Yeah, and
before we even started.
And with the shaking, everything else will come loose. They recommend that as well.
Yeah. Use lots of wood as well when
Yep.
converting your van to make it really heavy.
So it struggles.
Yeah. Oh, it begins! We are less than a mile in and we have lost pavement. We are on gravel. Expect this for the next 10 hours. And there's actually a truck wanting to overtake us, but I don't want to go any faster. Oh my god.
I also forgot to mention that up here it's 21 hours of daylight, so it's going to be bright all day, all night.
We're still 700 kilometers from the Arctic Ocean, so yeah. So it'll be a little bit like brighter further. Yeah.
Another fun fact, it's the summer solstice, which means it's the longest day of the year. And it's also the National Indigenous Day. So in Dawson they're having a big party for both of them basically. And there's like live music and everything. We're not there, obviously. But we decided to catch the rain instead. The campsites here are like, well, they're run on an honesty system really. You pay your money in a little envelope. So you always got to make sure you got some sort of cash on you. But actually the ones in Alberta had, you can pay with card, you can leave your credit card details and on a thing and then they charge it. We didn't try that. Seems we arrived a bit late. The campsite is full, which is actually kind of surprising. But yes, it's full, but you can still park here in like the overflow parking bit, and we found a fire pit next to us, so we're going to park here and then walk to the fire pit. Good morning and welcome to our first morning on the Dempster Highway. Brad broke a bowl last night. He's just gluing it back together. Yeah, and we're doing a hike today, and it's actually claimed as the Patagonia of the North. That's a big claim because Brad and I have been to Patagonia. So
That was a tough hike.
it was a tough hike, but I don't think this much would be as bad. But yeah, so I don't know what to expect because yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. But yeah, we're going to do that now.
Here's a quick update on the van. So the Dempster is 10 hours long. Yesterday he was averaging like 75 kilometers an hour. And look at the state of it. This is after 1 hour of driving. Yeah. I had to rub off to like see the reversing cameras and all the lights and everything. Also, one thing you'll find is it's continually kicking up stones the whole time you're driving, you're going to hear them just flying up and dinking underneath the van. And this is our gas like refill point, and look at it, it's all just completely cracked and caked in mud, and that's after 1 hour. We've got another like 20 hours of back and forth driving to do, so I'm going to clear that out and just duct tape it all up because we don't like getting wrecked. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't duct tape great? Tape can fix anything. It's great. Fun fact, actually. Cazzy's dad is obsessed with duct tape.
He'll be watching this.
Yeah, he uses it to fix everything from broken fences to broken hearts. He actually sleeps with a roll of duct tape just in case he needs it in the night. That's all he talks about.
An extremely bumpy road up to the start point of the hike. So much so that this has just happened. Yay.
This is the Patagonia of the North. It's very Dolomites Patagonia-like. It's beautiful. Alright, done. On to the next spot. Why is it flashing?
That's the oil warn. That's what it does, to warn you, make you aware there's an issue. Open the hood, please.
It's an oil warning sign. Does it look okay, the oil?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, don't know what I'm looking for. It's not leaking.
Check the
You have
handbook.
to check the level of it. You have to wait till the oil engine cools. It's not going to be cool yet, so there's no obvious signs of like, I don't know.
Well, look in the handbook.
I mean, it's the oil warning light. It's telling you there's an issue with the oil. It can't tell you what the issues are.
We're not even at the halfway mark and we've ran into issues. So yeah, that was the oil light coming on and flashing, and in the handbook there's like 3 different options. One of them is on while driving. If it's on while driving continuously, then to check the levels. Sorry, there's a bug in here with me. The second is if it has gone, if it's on flashing, then it's and the levels are fine. It's supposedly a major fault. Take it to a workshop. And the third one is something else, and it's basically the deterioration of the oil. We have some oil with us, so if it's the first one, we can top it up because it means the pressure's gone low. If it's any of the others, we are like 2 hours away from somewhere. If we go back on ourselves, we are 3 hours away from the next place, which it says in the handbook that there's a licensed mechanic there, but this is a Peugeot Boxer, so they don't have them over here. If it's something like an oil filter change, we've really struggled with that. We couldn't get it done in time. It has to be sent to Alaska. So again, if you're shipping a van over from the UK and it's a vehicle that they do not have over here, then bring all the spare filters, oil, air, fuel, everything you need. Yeah, so basically we've shut the van down, gonna let it cool down, and then check the oil levels, have some lunch, and hope for the best. Everything else seems fine. Like, it sounds fine, it's driving fine. But yeah.
Update. So it's been an hour. Let it cool down. We got under, we checked the level, and level's fine. Level of oil is exactly where it was at. Just was looking, a guy pulled in who works, I think he's like for the Yukon Highway. So he said they basically have patrols that go up and down, and he sort of like manages like the parks and this and that. He was really nice, Fred. You know, he doesn't know much about engines, neither do we. So it could be that there's a fault with something major, like he said, suggesting maybe like the oil pump. I didn't know there was a pump in the oil. I guess to pump it around the engine, stop it going, you know, keep everything lubricated. So I guess if that did happen, and we keep driving, and the oil pump, or I don't know, and you know, the engine will be wrecked basically, so you'd have to replace the engine, which is something we just obviously would never want to have to do. But it's a tough one because he said, so there are tow trucks that come up and down, this stuff happens to people, and there's actually one that's up the road. He said he thinks they're like really expensive, they're like, you know, $190 an hour, which is, you know, bearing in mind, Dawson is two hours from here. So if we keep going further, we have to get a tow truck, you know, it's like 2 to 3 hours out, and then 3 hours back. If we make it to Tuck and something happens, that's 10 hours, that's 8 hours from where we are right now.
What's that at 180, 190?
I don't know if you'd have to come from to get us in Tuck or get us in Tuck. From there back to the thing would be like 11 hours. So that'd be like $2,000. But actually he's really cool. He gave us his number. So he said he has like a big diesel engine, a truck and a trailer. He said he'll just come back and hitch us up and drive us back through. Canadians are great.
They are great.
So we kind of got to make a decision if we want to... The problem is, if it is an issue with something like the oil pump, it's 3 hours to Eagle Plains up the road, where there'll be a mechanic, which is really expensive, and parts might be really hard to come by, or it's 2 hours back to Dawson City. If it's something major, like an oil pump, then I guess, you know, it's going to go wrong either way.
It's the risk of the engine. If we lose our engine, then, well, that's it. It'll cost a lot of money to replace an engine and time and everything. But we don't know what's wrong with it. And the nearest mechanic is 3 hours away either way.
That's the thing though, if you go this way, it's 3 hours. You can take a look and get things. I mean, I feel like once you get there, he could maybe give us an answer. Worst case, we get there, he gives us an answer, we get it towed back. So it's going to be like 4 hours.
Or worst case, we do the damage driving there and the engine goes.
If we head back that way, it's 2 hours to get to a mechanic.
He said about 2.5.
And it's 3 hours that way. So it's not much quicker to go to
That's
Eagle
what I mean, yeah.
as to go that way.
So I'm saying either way.
It's just that way would be less supplies, it'd be more expensive for labour, and we'd have to pay for a tow truck to take us back down if something went wrong.
There's nothing in here, by the way. I wish that you could like reply right away if we ask people how do you check the oil thing underneath. There's nothing in here.
Where's Ricky when you need him, huh?
Ricky.
So I'm kind of thinking like we keep going, and then if suddenly I hear some grating, like just immediately turn off the engine and like just stop, and then just get a tow from there, like wait till someone comes by and can pick us up.
We've made the decision to keep going on to Eagle Plains. I'm really nervous. We're going to stop and check the engine for 20 minutes. Update. We drove for 20 minutes, checked, listened to the engine, it was fine. Drove for another 15, listened to the engine, it's not fine.
The plan was to keep, like either way we had a few hours to go. The plan was to keep going to Eagle Plains, but to stop every 10 to 15 minutes just to listen to see if it sounded dodgy. And if it did, is to sort out at that time, you know, 20 minutes further, and this has happened, so kind of made the decision for us, you know, it's time to stop.
Can't go further, and you have to get towed.
Yeah, we had to find a tow truck. I doubt one's just going to happen to drive past, and I have no idea
You can
where
see
they
how
are.
quiet it is here. There's no phone signal.
Yeah, there's no phone signal, but we're parked right by the road with the bonnet up, and last time two trucks stopped and we were more hidden. So I'm guessing people will stop. We've seen like the Yukon workers have satellite phones in their vehicles, so we're kind of hoping one of them will come past. Apparently it's fucking expensive for a tow truck around here, and then it's going to be fucking expensive to get any repairs done, even if we can find the right parts for this car. So, but you know, that's life. That's what happens.
So we've got our tow truck arranged for tomorrow morning. They're going to come out and get us. But it's not going to be cheap. 1,000 Canadian dollars to get us back to Dawson City.
Yeah, the guy pulled in, working on the highway maintenance, and he was like radioing his boss, who used his satellite phone, to call Dawson. Yeah, we'll be here at 11 o'clock, and then we've got to work out how much it's going to cost us to get the van sorted as well, and how long that'll take, and whether we're going to attempt this again. These are all questions we don't have answers to. Cazzy's had an idea.
The thought spent $1,000 is really getting to me.
So she's had an idea to stick this inside. Hey, only time will tell how ridiculous this idea is. She's going to use my mango box. We brought 10 mangoes up the door of the Dempster.
People ask us, say, do you need any supplies? No, we got 10 mangoes.
They're not ripe yet either, so that's no good. But look, for reference, by the way, this is how far we came. So this is Dawson here. This is where we are. This is the full length of the Dempster.
So we didn't do
So literally, if you'd make it to Tuk and needed to tow back, that must be like $5,000. Because if here to here is 5,000, 1,000, sorry.
being towed. Matt. Spent money on that extra tire.
Yep. Can be really useful.
Ah, goody.
This is so sad.
It really is. I feel sad. I really wanted to make it up the Dempster. So sad. She's made it to Dawson City.
No way, I'm from Kent. You're from Kent. I am, I'm from North Kent. Yeah.
Oh yeah, back in the 70s.
What, you hit? Oh, they're from people who are still... Thank you. Little fun fact for you. If you guys have heard about the that woolly mammoth they found. If you haven't, then they found a 30,000-year-old fully preserved woolly mammoth, and it's like the best one they've ever found in North America. There's only ever found one like it, and that was in Russia. And it was literally an hour that way. And they found it on summer solstice day, which was like 4 days ago. So it's like an hour that way down these little trails. How cool is that? Okay, it's actually been a few days since we last spoke to the camera. We got towed back to Dawson City, and it's pretty rough few days because they basically said if there's anything seriously wrong with it, they can't fix it, can't fix Helen. So it'd kind of be like maybe the end of the trip, or we have to postpone for a few weeks. But
She's okay!
yeah, so it turns out there was nothing wrong with her.
Don't even...
The flashing engine oil light is a sign that it needs an oil change, apparently. The manual doesn't say that, which is really helpful, so thank you, Peugeot.
Yes, that means we paid all that money
Yeah, 1,400 Canadian dollars that cost in the end to get towed back, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. And you're probably wondering, did we decide to do the Dempster again? Are we doing it? We had to make a decision.
And that decision was no.
Yeah. And it's basically because we thought, well, one, if we were just terrified of actually breaking down, because it's like this happened, and yeah, nothing was wrong with it, but it was so expensive, and the further we get, the more expensive it is. And we would have been nervous the whole time, and it's really disappointing though, because we really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I think we could have done it, but yeah.
But then we just weighed up the risk, like all the rattling, might have caused that issue, or we don't know, like, maybe just like something else would have happened, like after all that rattling, and we still have another like couple years of this trip, maybe. So.
And now we know that she ain't easy to get fixed, and she might not be able to get fixed, so we cannot take risks with her.
That was the other big thing. Yeah, they basically said if it's they don't have the right tools, because we're on the European metric system, and everything is completely different. Like we've had so much trouble getting an oil filter, because the thread size on everything is different. He said that they don't work on European vehicles, so we would literally be screwed if even anything minor went wrong.
Yeah, so we can't risk
yeah, even if it was the oil pump issue, which we thought it might be, he basically said you can't fix it. You'd have to put it on the back of a tow truck and send it 6 hours down the road to Whitehorse, which would cost us God knows how much money, and then even they might struggle to, because that's still in the Yukon.
Yeah.
Even they might struggle. They'd have to airlift parts in.
It just does not sound good.
Yeah.
But on a more positive note, I mean, that didn't happen, but we are heading into a new country, so we're pretty excited about that. So you can stay tuned for that in the next video. I'm sorry that this one was maybe a bit of an anticlimax.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We don't have anything unique or insightful to offer about the Dempster.
Not anymore. What is that rustling?
I don't know.
Oh, it's a bird. Okay.